Elyon is supposed to be the successor for Terra, but it seems as though the game was dead on arrival as Cacao Games poorly handled it and completely killed all potential that we saw for the game, and we as in the Western community saw for the game like within the first few months. And this is to be expected from a publisher. Really, every publisher of a Korean game is to be expected. We've seen it many times, but I've never seen it happen this bad to such a good game. Now, Elyon is not getting the respect it deserves in both regards. It's not getting the respect it deserves from players, and it is not getting the respect it deserves from publishers. So there is a lot to be said here. Recently, the game has made a lot of changes, and these are amazing changes that probably should have been there day one. But there is still a lot of bad in the current way that things are going in the game. But let's get into the details, that way I can explain to you why this is such a great game that is still very bad at the same time. And my fear is that it may be too late and the bad may overshadow the good for most people, even though for me it's still really the only game I enjoy grinding on for hours. So anyway, let's get into the details. First I want to talk about the level. They made a lot of changes to the level, and this is great. Questing is streamlined. I started a new character 8 days ago, 0 to 46, and I'm about to hit 47, and for the first few days I wasn't even keeping my computer on because I wasn't sure if I really wanted to dedicate to the game. I only recently, for the last 3-4 days, have really started keeping my computer on and truly utilizing the AFK leveling feature. So again, I quested up until like 28, and then I grinded to like 35, 40. So you unlock the ability to go into a dim portal and AFK grind or AFK level from a very early level. I mean, the earliest you can go in, you basically need starter gear. You need almost nothing. You can go on like 25 accuracy, it's nothing. And then the next tier for that, you're gonna need like 100 accuracy, 120, somewhere around there. But basically saying it's very easy to get into the AFK leveling portion of Elyon. And once you hit about level 40, you can go like AFK level all the way to 46, just like I did. You can definitely do it faster, but yeah, it's very great. And farming, you can farm for gold or EXP while leveling. So this is one of those bad and good things. AFK leveling in a competitive game would have been terrible, but the fact that the competitive player base is not really there, that's not really the main selling point of Elyon anymore. This AFK leveling allows you to stay in the game, to continue progressing in the game and having fun, while not putting in as much active time and effort. So this is really good for the current state of Elyon. However, again, for what Elyon was supposed to be, a competitive game with arenas, like the AFK leveling probably would have turned a lot of players off. But that competitive scene has died down, so they get a pass on that one. The next thing I want to speak about is gear enhancement. They've made huge changes to breakthroughs. Breakthroughs no longer break, and that is probably the biggest thing that you could ever do for this game, because breakthroughs are terrible. I think the numbers are still off, but they've included so many different enhancement items. Blessed stones for 150% increased chance of enhancement, and then fixed enhancement stones. Basically, literally, you can get to plus 10 easily with these items. It's literally just a matter of saving and getting the right enhancement items, and you get to plus 10 easily. for a breakthrough, it's still gonna be slightly difficult, but I did get my first like +8 breakthrough in like damn near a year. I got my first +8 breakthrough, and I've only been back playing for 8 days, so that's kind of huge, the change they made, because breakthroughs no longer break. They get destroyed, but it's a mechanic where a destroyed weapon you can still wear if it's a breakthrough. You just can't enhance it, so you're not losing anything except the ability to take it further than what you failed at if you use safe enhancement tools, and they have an abundance of safe enhancement tools. So that being said, awesome changes to breakthroughs. Login rewards are geared towards progression, and they even give out a +10 legendary at 21 days. So the login rewards are amazing for players that are catching up, or even great for, you know, veterans who just want that extra legendary, you know, if they don't have a +10 legendary weapon yet. But that, like, the login rewards are probably the best I've seen in any game. Now the events, again, like I've seen events where they're giving out gear, you know, the progression is different. As far as they're giving you consistent rewards. And then there was a recent event where you pretty much get all rune attributes and a crazy amount of skill points. Like, these events have been so good as far as like changing the way the player can progress and interact with the world. It's very diverse, but they're very good events. Great job on that account. The raids, the solo dungeons have had tremendous change. The dungeons, it's no longer like just depending on straight up RNG. You're no longer just dependent upon straight up RNG. You can actually choose which stat item you want, which is huge. It is a huge change. And it is a very good change. So the way that you progress your set gear is much more streamlined. It's much easier because you don't have to depend upon that RNG. You can solo these dungeons, and you can get what you want at a blue, and you can take it up to purple or gold, and they give you the resources to do that as well through other means of the game. And then you have raids, which are giving out other pieces of gear. You know, they're giving out other accessories, you know, and these raids, they just open up a whole new loot table to allow you to get other materials in this game that are necessary for your progression. Not to mention, they're just fun, right? They've also added, you know, several new dungeons. And like I said, they're fun. You know, that's what you want in a game, a PvE game. It's kind of what Elyon has become. And I'm gonna come back to it. But next, I kind of want to talk about something, and that's the pay to win bullshit. It's still very bad. They update the Ruby shop probably every week, and that shows that they're really money hungry. I've never seen, other than Games Work, I've never seen a company update their freaking item shop this frequently. And it's not even like they're putting things on sale. They're just trying to entice you to pay for convenience or pay for really like direct gains. I mean, you're paying for enhancements, which, you know, could lead to direct gains. You're paying for RNG. Like, it's really bad. It's terrible. No Western wants that, and I'm pretty sure Cacao knows that. I'm pretty sure Bluehole knows that. The fact that, you know, they're allowed to do this is kind of worries me. It makes me think that, you know, they're cash grabbing, which is why they're leaving Elyon in such a bad state. You know, they're still technically releasing content and working on it, but they have to know that this pay to win bullshit keeps a lot of Americans away. So that's why this player base it's not like all of the good is. It's kind of getting overshadowed by this pay to win bullshit for most people, because most people won't pay for it. But me, you know, and I'm not really most people. Like, if I don't have a game to grind or play, I get very agitated. So I hop back in Elyon. I've been having a lot of fun. So I actually did drop, you know, some money to support the game, but I make a lot. Not everyone does, so not everyone's gonna support, and that's my fear. It might be too late. And that's why the population is so low for this game, because most people just don't have the faith enough to put their time and money into the game, even though they've made all of these positive changes. So, Cal, please address this. Please speak to your community if you care about the game. Because, you know, from most people's perspective, it doesn't look like you really do. It just kind of looks like, you know, they're dropping content over in Korea, or they're dropping you know, events, but they're not truly facilitating a community. It takes more than just putting items in the game. The niche community of Elyon is still very, very active, but again, it's a niche community. It's not large by any means. I'm playing with the same people that I saw playing this game since like week 1. There's a lot of dedicated people that have stuck around, but the majority of people who are competitive or want PvP have probably went to Lost Ark or some other fighter game, right? Or action game. But majority of people definitely went to Lost Ark, which is sad, because if Kakao doesn't change the way they interact with the community, not just the game, then the community is not really going to know how good these changes are. It's not really enough to just add a video, because no one's really searching Elyon like that anymore. Like, there has to be another way for them to interact with the community. You know, hopefully they do that. But, you know, all in all, here's a summary. Elyon has amazing changes. Elyon is in a very great playable state. They have added new classes, which are extremely fun. They are adding great content to the game. But the problem is that the game is still pay to win. The problem is that Kakao does not speak to the community. The problem is that the community does not have faith in Elyon, and this is why the player base is extremely low. So for this to be such a good game on a developmental standpoint, it is very badly managed, very poorly managed, and my fear is that that is what's keeping most people away from the game. So you know, that is my opinion on the current state of Elyon. That being said, I am still playing. I am literally AFK leveling while making this video, and I will continue to make content for the game because I love it. But I figured before I do that, I will give my viewers, my friends, a overview of what to actually expect once you hop into this game. So thanks for watching, you guys. See you next video. Please make sure to drop a like, sub if you appreciate the content of the video. I'll see you next time. Peace.